There are good things and there are bad things about having too much planner stuff. Let's talk about some of the good things. Okay, welcome tribe. This is Dr. J and this is the Therapy of Planning. If you have been here before, then thanks so much for coming back. And if you're new, thank you so much for hitting that button to check this video out and see what the Therapy of Planning is all about. Okay, it's been a minute. I've been away for a sec. I was going through some stuff. We're trying to figure out editing these videos and changing what I was using to edit. And so, you sit down to do it and you're like, okay, this is not working. Stepping away. In a minute that you step away becomes a few days. It becomes a few weeks. So it has been a minute and I realized, hey, tomorrow's July. We're halfway through 2024. How did that happen? I don't know what happened. It just poof, here we are. So you know what that means. It means time to check out the whole stash, the whole lineup. Try to see what's been going on so far this year, what things are being changed, and what things are staying the same. So before I bring you that, I said, let me go back and get this video straight because I think I did this like May and then realized, okay, I'm not ready to put that up because I've got to tweak this and tweak that. And then I never got back to it. And now it's time for the review. Got to get it together here. So before I bring you the whole review, I'm going to talk about one particular journal that has kind of been giving me a little bit of a hard time, or it was giving me a little bit of a hard time. So when I first filmed it, I was just trying out a new setup, and now that I've been with it for that month that I've been gone, I can tell you that so far so good. So I'll talk a little bit more about how good when I do my review, but I just wanted to show you what happens when you use your stash. So I have tried so many different things for my wellness journal, and because I fell down a rabbit hole when I first started planning, I have so many different things, planners, notebooks that I've tried and then abandoned and moved on to the next thing, but I wasn't quite ready to let go of because I just wasn't sure. And so that has served me well in this time when I realized that what I was doing for tracking my wellness wasn't working. So you may know, if you've been here before, that I have 10 different planners and journals, and so far most are doing pretty good, especially the prayer journal, the work planner, and the personal planner. Awesome. But when I got to this wellness journal, not so much. So that's what I'm going to talk about today, and then next time I'm going to come back and do my review for the first half of 2024 and go through everything and talk a little bit more in detail about how those things are working. But I realized that let's move what the current thing is and talk about the things of the past, that I really wanted to track a few things. First, it started off with just my sleep, because sleep patterns have been changing the last few years, getting older, things are changing. And so I just realized that I wasn't sleeping like I used to, and I wanted to be able to kind of describe what was happening to my doctor. So I decided to write it down. And then, hey, I'm trying to eat better. So I decided to write down what I was eating. And then, hey, how do I feel? This little thing was twinging, or this little thing was aching, this little thing was a problem. So I want to write that down so I can kind of keep track, try to figure out what's going on. And so hence came to use, or trying to use, a wellness journal. I think that the closest, this may not be the very first thing that I started with, but it's close. It's between the two of these. This is just a notebook that I got from Walmart, actually, cut down to standard size. And I was using it. As you can see, I would just each day have a spot for the 3 things that I'm looking at, which was sleep, what I ate, and how I was feeling. And I really like it. I've come to know that I really love dot grid, and put little inserts and different things and decorated it, and really kind of liked this. This is probably, of all the things that I tried, my favorite. What ended up putting me out of this was the fact that I had to set it up each week. Not a detailed setup, as you can see, but I would set up my prayer journal, my personal planner, my work planner. Didn't have to do too much too, but still had to get that straight each week, and my journal. So by the time I did my personal planner, where I decorate, and my prayer journal, which I decorate, and my personal journal, which I decorate, I was tired. Like, everything is on the weekend for me. Well, it used to be, because that was when I had the most time, and on Saturday I look forward to sitting down in my planner studio and working on setting up for the following week, and thinking about, what things had to be done. And my creative juices started to dry up just a little bit, and the fact that I would have to, of course, do other things that the weekend affords me time to do, such as laundry and straightening up and all those other things that we do on the weekend, right? So by the time I would get to this, it'd be like, oh yeah, I gotta do that. And I kind of let it go. And then, of course, there's always days that you don't write. Wasn't too bad in here, but there was times that I missed. Not too bad looking at it now. And I do really love that. I love the way it looks. But it wasn't ideal in the sense that I was looking for something that I didn't really have to put anything into as far as a setup. See, so I think now, just in reflecting, that this one came before that one, which is, this is a petite planner from Erin Condren. And because I was doing some decorating in here, I think that I tried this before I created this. But either way, I did try this. It just wasn't exactly, I tried to make the separate sections. Then the weekend is different than the week. So it didn't kind of end up working out. I think, like I said, it was this first, then this. And then, because I was trying not to have to set up as much, I had an old take a note. Because, again, start using and then abandon and then keep around. And so I said, let me try this in here, because these already have the columns for each day. I can easily redate it, which is what I did. And I just only had to put these lines across it. Well, of course, I still ended up getting some decoration, because this part, as you may know, is the weeklies, right? So I didn't really want that like this, because I just wanted to put down those 3 things for the day. So then over here is when I started to put in, okay, where did we go? I started to put in trackers, like water, because I'm terrible with water, and my vitamins. And I could think of a couple of other things too to track since this time. But it worked. I liked how it looked, but again, I was still putting time into changing the date and covering up the week and putting the trackers in. And then I thought to myself, well, next year, when I have the accurate year, I won't have to do the date headers. So maybe I will continue on with this. But somewhere along the way, I ended up abandoning it. not 100% feeling it. It's still not a bad option. I still, because I really like, I guess, this narrow, longer format, I do still like this kind of setup and setting it up like this. But again, I was like, it's not quite right, and I really want to not have to do like anything to it. So I tried, hey, I have this, I'm gonna take this out of here so I can use it for something else. Okay. I tried a half letter because I had these inserts from Jane's Agenda that came in a sub box that I hadn't used. And I said, okay, I'm gonna redate. I'm just gonna try. Okay, so they're daily pages, and basically I'm looking for these 3 areas, right? To write down what I'm eating, sleep, and how I'm feeling. And the reason I was kind of attracted to this is because it does have the times here. And for eating, since I do somewhat intermittent fast, I like to kind of take note of when I break my fast. So basically, I just have coffee in the morning, and I don't have anything until the goal is like 1, but sometimes it's later. And so I like to kind of keep track of that. And so I said I might as well just use these pages. I had, didn't have any other plan, and they were outdated. I had to redate them. But again, I worked all the way through them. So, but it was okay. But I kind of felt like I'm wasting space. Like I'm not writing in some areas of it. I like having a lot of space to write in, but I want to utilize the space that I have, I guess. Probably not saying that exactly right, because if you had more stuff to write, you would use the stuff. But I just felt like I didn't particularly need a whole page for each day. Also, I started thinking about maybe being able to see everything for the week together. And I've tried the wellness planners, like Happy Planners Wellness, set up for the week. And I found that each section didn't really leave me enough room. And so that's probably the first thing I started, now I think about it. And so I had abandoned that. Then I went to the Petite Planner, and so the progression continued, still trying to search for exactly what was right. So somehow, I don't know, I watch a lot of you guys out there that are on YouTube and that, Frankenplan and do all different kind of things for writing down things for their wellness. And somewhere along the way, I came up with the idea of maybe trying the classic size, because I knew that I had a lot of classic stuff. Let me show you. And that's not all of it. Okay, so I can't even say. I just went to the drawer, which I left still half full. I have one of those little plastic 3-drawer bins, and I try to separate like classic, half letter, and big. And I went to that drawer and I found so much stuff. Because of course, when I first discovered Happy Planner, I picked up the classic size, and quickly realized, okay, this is like, there's other planners like Tool, has half letter and letter. And so of course, that Happy Planner's classic size is indigenous to Happy Planner. So I kind of, after a while, abandoned it. Like I mostly did focus on this size for wellness. I tried even journaling and different things in it. I didn't really use it for planning like work or personal, just wellness. And when I abandoned the wellness spread that Happy Planner provided, that's when the classic kind of got kicked to the curb. I can't even begin to tell you like where I was with what planner or journal, because I've just been all over the place. I feel like 2024, I am just settling in, and certain things I'm really 100% sure about and other things I'm tweaking. But I think that the idea of identifying what things you need to plan or journal now has me only trying to figure out which thing is ideal, which works ideally for each thing. So, or each category, let's put it that way. So that's a whole heap better than, oh, I think I'm gonna plan this, or oh, I think I need something to journal this, or you're not knowing what you need. Now I've identified what I need, and so now it's only a matter of tweaking what best suits the needs for that area. So here I found a whole bunch of different ones. Paper. Oh, these are companion accessories. There's another one. There was one that had this little pouch in it, which is real pretty. I got this Caliber Plan. Was it Go Wild last year? I think, yeah, 2023. But see, I'm big on redating. It's easy to do, especially in these circumstances, like this type of planner. So I kept this, and you'll see why in a minute, how it's going to get used. But I just had so much stuff. Here's like a notebook. I think, can't remember if these inserts are Happy Planner or are they, I think they might be Happy Planner, but, or I can't remember if they're Jane, no, they're Happy Planner, because Jane's Agenda would say it on there. Yeah, so I had this. It's not even, look at that, it's not even got the same, anyway, all these different things, inserts I pulled out, dividers. Oh yeah, here's more paper, another companion pack. So all these things I did like a preliminary go through, of course, when I was looking for what I can use for my idea. And then now that I've got that idea put together, I'm going to go back through and get a little bit more organized. Look, brand new notebook. Brand new. So just so much stuff. And because I knew that I had that, I said, let me see, do I have a horizontal? Do I have an old vertical? Yes. And what can I use for the last thing? And so I came in and dug through and found what I had, ordered one or two things, and ended up with, now I lost the actual, I lost the actual book. Okay, hold on. That's weird. Okay, hold on for a second. Okay, so here it is. All right, it is the classic Happy Planner Frankenplans. So many of us in the community do this, and I just got an idea about all the things that I had, just putting it together to make it work for the categories that I want to track. So as you can see, sleep, body, nourishment are the main ones. And then I did have this extra one here, mind, meaning how I was feeling, what was on my mind. But I think that I'm going to, as I'm reviewing this and going through it, I'm thinking that I'm gonna take that out going forward, because I just don't feel like I have enough that I need to write in there. If I'm feeling really, if something particular is on my mind, let's put it that way, I will write in my journal. If there's just something I want to take note of, like I stayed a little, worried about something today. Something was heavy on my mind. Maybe I don't want to write everything out about it, but I just want to note my emotional stance for that day. I think I'll just put it on some note paper, because I just didn't find that I used this a lot this month. I put it in here because I came across it that I had an actual current dashboard planner for the remainder of the year. Like it was, I guess, an 18-month planner that started last year. So it still had current pages in it. And so I decided to put it in here. But I had already ordered from Live Love Posh the quad layout, which I wanted to notate my track any physical symptoms. In the prior month, in May, when I was just trying this out, kind of threw anything together to see if it would work, I had an old dashboard that I found and redated, and I was using that for how I was physically feeling. So I felt like I was wasting, this part. So I went ahead and ordered the quad layout from Live Love Posh. And then I discovered that I had a current one of the dashboard and I didn't really have to order it, even though I prefer it. But now, so I made myself put it in here to use for something. But now I'm seeing that I am not really utilizing that segment. So I think that's going to come out for July. And I am using a horizontal, which I didn't do good with tracking this week, or that was that week, whatever week that was. But I am using this horizontal. I like it because I can write down. First of all, I write big, unless I can write small, but I just in the morning scribble. Okay, so I just write down what happened if I woke up, how many times I went to the bathroom, I needed a fan, whatever it was. I like having the space, and I like that I have the whole week here at a glance. And so the horizontal is working good for that. This was from an old horizontal planner, and I redated it. Okay. Well, I was able to match up a month, one of the old months with the same days for June 2024. And then for body, like I said, I did got this quad layout from Live Love Posh. And then for nourishment, I am using this vertical. And I love it because it's morning, afternoon, evening. For me, that's how I'm breaking it down. And I have plenty of room to write down what I ate. I think over here going forward, I might add some trackers like water and vitamins. And then I ordered from Live Love Posh, and of course, I missed out on these months, but the idea is that all the months are together. Kind of got used to that Hobonichi style with all the months being together. And the idea for this section is to write down the when did I last. When did I last get my nails done, clean my makeup brushes, do a facial, whatever. When did I last do anything that's self-care or for health? I can put it here, and I can easily look back to see when the last time I did something was. And then I put a few pages back here, note pages, and I think that the note pages are going to stay and be where I write down how, if I have any concerns about how I'm feeling, like, today I was really annoyed, or I really felt agitated, or whatever it is, I can just do a rolling entry for that. And I'm just going to take the other part out here. So, or maybe I might leave this in here but not use the dashboard for it. So I was able to just put this together from things that I had, and I did make the investment. I did order from Live Love Posh, and because I realized that I was going to like this setup, I found I think online at Walmart, I found this for 2024, and this is a July start horizontal that's neutral. So I love that. And so the idea that I had of not having to do anything to set this up as far as stickering, covering, redating, that's what I wanted. And I can just do it monthly, right? Just put it, I'm just going to keep 1 month at a time in this book, which is in my room next to my bed. And I like the fact, of course, from Disbound, that I can just whoop and write, right? Because I'm usually sitting in my bed when I'm doing this. So I just grab it from my nightstand and just fill in what I got to fill in. And 2, when I go to bed, I fill in what I ate for the day. So, and it's just, if it turns out to be just right, it's not too big, and it gives me enough space. So I had some metal discs because I really like the metal disc better. Like I said, I found a million different things that I already had. So I had this cover. Now I love this cover. When I tried to do this at first, just a rough try, I had found this cover, and I had these pretty discs that can go with it. So I have covers that I can change out. And also I have this cover that I kept. So these are like the 4 main ones that I'm keeping. And I have also this cover. Okay. And that I could change out if I like. This is not a favorite, so this will just keep the new, like the upcoming months. Okay, so I'm trying to remember. This, no, okay, so this is old. So I just threw this in here because I'm just going to redate these for now. So next year in 2025, I will get a new vertical planner, and then I think there's some smaller shops like Live Love Posh that I'll order other inserts from, because that's kind of like I always say, one thing that Happy Planner leaves to be desired is like they, you know, by putting the dates on the back of the dashboard, you got to cover that up if you want to keep this dashboard. It's a beautiful dashboard, and I would like to keep it once the time goes on. Okay, so here's the 2024 pages that I had for the dashboard. Here's the remainder of the quad layout, and then this is the the vertical, I'm sorry. And so this is what I'm going to use for the rest of the year. Just come here, pull out stuff for 1 month, and here's the horizontal, and then I'll put it in this cover. I'll take all these out for the month and put them in another book so that I'll end up with the whole year together. Or I think they're going to have to be separate because it will be too big to fit like all 3 planners like for the whole year in one. Even on expander disc, I think it would be too much, I think. So anyway, that's the new thing that we found for wellness, and I'm really, really happy with it. You know how when you finally find the right thing, it just clicks, boom, that's it. I'm really, really happy with it. Like I said, I do love this little one, and I may use this when I travel, but I don't know. I haven't made up my mind quite yet, because one thing I was thinking about doing is like next month I have to go away for a week. So I was thinking I can just take the pages out, we're at the end of the month now, so these are used up, but I can just take the week's pages out and for each category, and just have a few pages and slide them into a full, something else that I'm carrying, and then I won't have missed them in this book. So I'm happy with this, and like I said, I do really like this, but I think that this is preferable because I don't have to, even though I love the decoration in it. I don't know, books, I'm realizing too that it's not just the style of the book, but the actual book itself, because like I have a Stalogy too that I cut down, and I was thinking I could use it to journal in, and I'm not that happy with it. So yes, the personal journal is what we'll be talking about next, because I'm floundering there as well. But I feel like when I look at this and I see like how this is like a week header page, I feel like I would like to do this and then maybe write in here, journal in here. So I'm not really sure. I'm working on that that's next. But at least I got this done. So of my 10, I know what I'm looking for going forward. 2025, yes, we're talking about 2025. I hear other people doing it now, and I feel good because I did order some things this year that didn't end up getting used, and so, you know, I still have them, and like I said, I'll always redate something, but I really I'm looking forward to the year where I order my things for that year and there's not something that I don't use or that I discard. So as I work through and make sure that everything is the way I want it, then I can feel confident in what order. I don't want to order extra stuff that I don't use. So like I said, prayer journal and book planner and personal planner are good, and now the wellness planner is good too. So next up is my journal. I went from personal journal to creative journal. Now I'm not so sure. So I am really now working on getting this to where I feel comfortable and I'm using it. My business planner and notebook is good, even though I have, I'm probably going to use something different next year, but I still, what I have now is working. It's not working, but I've seen something that might work even better. Spending tracker, we talk a little bit more about that later. I have a Hobonichi Weeks that I'm using for that. Didn't order it because it's not a favorite of mine. Oh gosh, so many people use it. I feel so bad that I just don't really care for the book. The size is fine, but not for, I don't like the setup of it, and not for like planning. For me, it just wouldn't work. But I got one at a planner conference, and so I'm using it to track my spending, and it's working for that. But I still don't prefer the Hobonichi because of all the coloring and the verses, or not verses, but the, you know, sayings at the bottom of the page taking up space. So the size I probably will stick with, but I probably will go to a different brand. Like Sterling Ink is like, she's like everything right now. So she's got a Weeks that's, you know, just plain, and so I might do that. The finance planner, basically just something that stays in the house, just a notebook that I write down my bills when I pay them. So that's fine. And my everyday carry, we can talk a little bit more about that later. It's not really much. I think the last video that I was talking about the finance tracker, I showed what I was going to do for the everyday carry. So all that will get talked about or discussed in my next video, which will be a review or the mid-year review, the check-in to see how we're doing. So you already know that I did make one change. So let's see how it's been going and what I like and what I don't like for the rest of the year, and what I'm thinking about, which I told you some of it today, what I'm thinking about for 2025. If you have enjoyed this video, which I've been rambling on for a minute, please give me a thumbs up. And if you want to see my review, then hit that subscribe button and stay with me through this journey, because indeed it is a journey for the elusive planner piece. And writing it down is really helping us out. That's what the therapy planning is all about. So stay with me, tribe, hit subscribe, and I'll see you next time.